Hey, welcome back. The past couple of weeks there's been several people ask me about the watermelon video. Now last year I demonstrated it, but I didn't use watermelons. We used pumpkins and cantaloupes, and that was my first year doing this channel, and I just forgot to video it. But anyhow, you're going to have four things when you start this project. Shovel, a 16-ounce bottle with the top cut out of it, your watermelon seeds, and your choice of fertilizer. And your fertilizer should depend on your ground. Now, me being the cheapskate that I am, this is triple 19 that I had left over from last year when I done my dad's turnip greens. He likes triple 19. I prefer triple 13, but you know, it's free, so we're going to try it out anyway. I do not believe this is going to be the most fertile ground I have. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I've had some grading work done around the place the past couple of weeks. And where I normally plant my melons, I have big brush piles that need to be burnt. And this ground over here, this winter time, I'm going to take out some of the hickory nut trees that we've got and open it up, because it's really good ground to till up. It dries fast. It's above the flood area of the creek, so I'm hoping that this does well. And if it does, this is going to be my new spot. I really like it over here. It's quiet. It's, you know, I keep most of my equipment over here across the creek in a little shed, so it's convenient. And I'm burning out all the stumps. That's where the smoke's coming from, so excuse that. And hopefully I can build this ground up and it be real fertile, because this is about a 60 by 80. And that's plenty. That's plenty for me and Karen to grow enough and give away. All right, let's get started on our planting. All right, now as you can tell, I've got my ground tilled up really soft. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig me a hole. My dad uses post hole diggers. I've got a set, but I don't like using them. Reminds me of my childhood. He was an avid fence builder. About 10 inches to 12 inches will do. If you only go 8, that's fine. This one right here is probably going to be about 8 inches. I'm going to take my triple 19. I'm going to kick my dirt right back in there. Then I'm going to make my mound right here. Make you a nice good mound, flat top. Leave you a water ring. The thing about a water ring is it does two things for you. It helps retain moisture if you water, or you have to water with a sprinkler or a bucket or however you do it. But it also helps if you have a heavy rain. It kind of keeps your hills from washing away, your seeds from washing out. You can actually, at the end of your water ring, if you know that you're going to have a bad storm coming in, open up one side of it. Make a drain. But when the water hits it, it's not washing out. It's going to go around it and it's going to go out the other side. But I don't think we're going to have no rain, so I'm going to make my water ring a little bit sturdier. Oh, mercy. Whew. Fat men do not need to be bending over for that long. Now, when I plant my watermelon seeds, it's kind of like my squash plants. I'm going to do 2 seeds on the mound, in 4 locations. And I'm only going to leave, starting out, I might leave 2 vines on here. Once they start, I'll pick the 2 healthiest vines and thin them out. And the first melon I see, that's going to be the only vine I leave on this mound. I'm going to pull the other one out and feed it to the chickens or whatever we're we've got roaming around in the yard at that time. I don't transplant. I've tried that before. It just doesn't work for me. I don't know why. I just find it easier to overseed and thin out. I don't really like transplanting anything from one spot to another. All right, I'm going to take about a ½ inch deep, put my seeds in. All right, that's our first hill. Now I'll repeat this process 2 or 3 times. If I'm not mistaken, that melon right there is, it may be a Carolina cross, or it could be, I'm thinking it's a Carolina cross. I'm gonna go a Carolina cross, a Jubilee, then a Moon and Stars, and this is gonna be my test run for this area this year. I'm not gonna put a lot of melons out here because I really don't know how the ground's gonna react to them or how they're gonna react to the ground. So this is just a test. And I may put another hill on up on the other side, and maybe that's more fertile ground up there or more suited for melons. We had some tomatoes over here at one time. They really didn't do real well, but we're right next to a creek. This is the area that gets the most sun during the day, so this is where the melons are going to be going. But we will be putting more melons out over there, and we are going to put 2 or 3 hills over in our 30 by 30 garden. If I don't know. Yeah, we'll put a couple hills out over there, a few hills of cantaloupe. But anyhow, that's the way I plant my melons. I know that you may have a different way of doing it, but this is the way that works best for us. And I'm not going to knock anybody for their ways. That's not what I'm doing. I do not prune my melons once they start. I might leave 2 vines on a hill. I have done that before and had really good luck. But since I don't know how this ground's going to be, I don't know how fertile it is, I'm actually going to just let 1 vine go this year, and we'll go from there and see how it does. And if it does good, next year I'll leave 2 vines on it. But normally I do leave 2 vines on the hill. I'll thin out down to 2, 1 on each side of the mound, and let them grow. I don't cut off little watermelons. I don't cut off blooms. I don't do anything like that. Watermelon, there's different varieties and different sizes to every melon, and in my experience, a 10-pound watermelon is just as good as a 50-pound watermelon. I like watermelon. I grow it for the taste, not for the size. However, with this method right here, as you get, I think I got a video out there up at my father's place and my place. We had melons last year 111 pounds. We had melons of 70 pounds. We had Jubilees at 50 pounds, Moon and Stars at 50 and 60. We had some heirloom melons that we don't even know where we got the seeds at. We plant a melon, it come up, we try to crossbreed it with another melon, it won't crossbreed, and it's a good melon, and I don't even remember what my dad calls it. It's almost shaped like a gourd, but it's a watermelon, and it's a yellow meat watermelon. And I think I've got some of those seeds left over. We're going to put them out this year and start our own strain, and hopefully this ground will do it for me. It's been a long morning, real long morning. But anyhow, thanks for tuning in. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. If you've got a question or a comment, please leave it. I'm not the greatest at answering some of the things, and I'm not the greatest public speaker, and I'm not the greatest videoer, that's for sure. But I do appreciate you guys for watching and viewing. Like I said, hit like, subscribe, leave me a comment. If I can't get back to you within the hour, I promise you, I will get back to your comment within 1 day's time, if possible. I might be dead. You never know. But anyhow, Running Rail, this is Easter weekend, and I am out of here. Later.